I just have the most beautiful life, happy and excited about every day and all the new things that have come, like I'm attracting into my life, like it's coming to me.
Yeah.
I'm not actually going out forcing things to happen. Just beautiful things are manifesting. And I can see it in Gary too.
Yeah.
Like he's just so happy.
I was able to have some confronting conversations from a place of love and support, but backing myself with some family members. So that was really important.
We went on a trip to Jindabyne. It was a whirlwind trip, 3 or 4 or 5 days, and we had heaps of driving and heaps of in-laws to be with, busy. It was hot, and I just knew that I could not have done that 12 months prior. Honestly, can say sometimes I'm driving around and just thinking, oh, man, I feel happy. Happy.
Be kind to yourself, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, and that's probably what I do. Yeah, I speak to myself now. Like, I just go, good job, Joey. We did this today. We went for a walk today and we cried. And how cool is that? Because we're releasing stuff and it's okay. There doesn't need to be anything bad or wrong. You just have created a space where I'm able to do that. And, so my body thanks me now for, so I feel like this brain and this little, gut of mine have got this really beautiful relationship now. And rather than fighting against each other, they're happily skipping along in life.
It's like this massive aha moment was I will put everyone else's kind of emotions above my own. And I realized that what I was doing was I was taking responsibility for how everyone else felt. It wasn't until we had some coaching sessions and we talked it through and I went, actually, that's not my responsibility. Like my responsibility is to make sure that I'm taking care of me and, I'm not being a jerk and all the rest of it. But at the end of the day, like if I can't do something and that person gets upset about it, that's their stuff, not my stuff. And so it was learning that. And so that was a really big kind of light bulb for me.
My kids, we were doing, I think, our weekly family blitz, and there was stuff everywhere in the house. And normally that really triggers me. I'm like, oh my God, I have to do the housework. And I was like, okay, there's so many things on your floor, guys, in my kids' room. What are we going to do? Okay, well, why don't you do this and you do that? And then they started doing some stuff and I came back and then there was still most of the things like, guys, I have asked you to do this and we've got to get it done. So, let's do it all together so that nobody has to do it themselves. And my youngest looks at me and goes, Mum, why aren't you getting angry? Like, why are you so calm?
I'm trying to trigger you, Mum.
He said, why are you so calm? And I was like, oh, I am, aren't I? And I just started laughing and I said, I reckon that's my new way that I'm starting, my new practicing about how I'm learning new skills and learning how to not be such a dragon mum. And then they started laughing and then we just all cleaned up together.
And it wasn't until I had cleared all of this through all of this work that I now had this capacity and this spaciousness and this easefulness in my life, and nothing outside of me had changed. Yeah. Absolutely nothing. It was all inside. And it just made me realize how much room this stuff takes up without you actually knowing. And both physically in your body and mentally in your head, like it's just there looping constantly. And until it was gone, I've got this newfound capacity, which is incredible.
I was feeling a lot more confident to tackle any other hurdles that would come up in life.
So, when my son, when I was going through this, literally said to me one day, Dad, you're never smiling unless you're looking at me. And it's like, really? He said, yep, wow. You just don't seem happy unless you're looking at me. But I watch you when you're working or when you're with others and you just don't have that same smile and your eyes are almost like they're dead. So, through the work with you and with Chris and the meditation, it was fascinating to see like my son noticing that. That's big. Other things that I noticed was that I wasn't willing to, I'm an introvert, and I was not willing to go out to parties or even to go for social runs with people if there was going to be more than 5 or 6 people there. And my wife would say, come on, let's go for this thing, whether it be a bike ride or a run or a dinner. And I'd literally say, well, how many people are going? And if too many people were going, my whole body was telling me, you can't go because there's too many people there. Through the work with you and Chris, I wasn't having those thoughts anymore. I'd get invited somewhere and I was like, oh, wow, what a difference. I actually want to go.